All right, and welcome everybody to. I don't think there are actually any viewers, but welcome everybody to the SST Replacement stream. We're going to be shit talking and whatnot. First, I guess I'll open with a Hail Satan.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan. And pretty much the rules for SST apply to this stream. That is to say, there aren't really a whole lot of rules. However, there is one very big rule with this stream tonight. No election talk. Seriously, we're fucking tired of it.
Are you not the only one?
Yep.
Yeah, like you're not even in the U.S.
Yeah, that tells you something. I'm so bloody bored by it by now. But let's skip that subject and move on to something completely different.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, guess we already talked about all the Halloween shit with the last SST, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit, I don't have anything to talk about.
Well, can we touch on something that is tangentially related to the election?
What is it?
Okay, so as you know, Lena Dunham, as well as a number of other celebrities, have pledged to flee the country should he who shall not be named win the election. And, you know, I suggested to the Wooly Bumblebee that she should live in an igloo in Nunavut in northern Canada.
Oh, I think I saw this. Yeah.
And that she should wear a reflective vest in case they go on a whale hunt.
Yeah, I think she said something like, "Well, what did Canada do to you?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, well, I think we just said Justin Bieber. That's what we did.
Oh yeah, I said that there is no reparation that will compensate for Justin Bieber. Although Lena Dunham probably comes pretty close.
Bieber is worse. Definitely Bieber is worse, though.
Well, I said she's pretty close. I didn't say she was as bad.
Why did I tweet out in Spanish just now?
Oh, it automatically does that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it tweet out and go.
Yeah, just to talk about Justin Bieber, I think we have a bit of a topic in here for about 5 seconds.
Okay.
He's not that interesting, even though most likely a lot of underage girls think otherwise. Still, good thing they will grow up and grow out of it in due time. But that's a completely different story. But, well, there's something I read in the newspapers recently in the last couple of weeks or so that he is on stage. We're talking about Mr. Twat Bieber. He wants to, re-educate his audience so they stop screaming and things like that. And he's completely going into tantrum when the public does it.
Wait, he's upset because people scream?
Yes.
Does he not know his fan base?
Apparently not. I think he finds himself more important than the rest of the world, but that's nothing new there. But yeah, the last thing I read about it is that he walks off stage in a complete tantrum because his audience is screaming and not listening to his music. Things like that. It's like, oh, I need to re-educate you, and you need to stop screaming. You need to listen to me, etc., etc. It's like, no. If you don't like it, then stop performing. It is as simple as that. And by walking away, technically, you're refusing a service that a lot of people have paid for. And you could be held responsible if the whole group says, well, I'm going to sue your ass off. Not that they would do it because they're way too big of a fan. Because, well, Mr. Bieber is holy in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of those things I went like, what? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Go smoke a few more joints and just quit the business. You earned your money, get lost.
Yep. Oh, what was that thing I was, Oh, I just lost it. Just thought of something to talk about. I think it had something to do with bearing. I think, maybe. I was watching a YouTube video sometime during the week, and I forgot. Wow, the stream sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a single viewer. Hey.
Yay.
Hey, single
Welcome,
viewer.
See if I got. Hey, Mr. Scarecrow. Oh, Mr. Scarecrow in there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what? Platty, can you throw him the link?
Yeah. Yeah, I can. Hold up.
But maybe it wasn't very. I ended up watching a lot of Devo videos during the week too. Because I just let it autoplay, and for some reason, well, especially when I'm working, you know, at my desk here, and it just for some reason YouTube just autoplays into Devo, no matter what else I'm listening, you know, no matter what else I'm doing, you know, with YouTube. So it just, I was like, oh yeah, okay, you want to play No Time for Fun, all right, or Time Out for Fun, or whatever it was, and then it wants to play Whip It about 50 times, and then Uncontrollable Urge about 3. Which, don't get me wrong, it's quite listenable stuff, but really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I turned it off, so the whole autoplay feature on YouTube, well, I recently reinstalled my computer because, well, it had to be reinstalled after a year of use. Like, oh, time for a fresh reinstall, and as soon as you log into YouTube, it's like everything is back to default. It's like, no, I don't want to autoplay. I don't want this function. No, stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's so annoying. It's like, well, we want you to watch this. Yeah, I don't watch that other shite. Get lost. It's like, no. Oh, this is music you will like. No, that's actually music I really hate, and I can actually explain why I hate it. It's like, no, I don't want to watch this. So let's turn it off and turn that off. And but the other thing I'm really annoyed with the whole YouTube thing is that well, you get your recommended videos. Even on the homepage, it's like, well, these videos are recommended for you. And you end up with videos there. Seen it. Channels I watched one video of and went like, no, this is not my type of video. So it's like, I don't want to watch this. And tell us why. I'm clearly not interested in this channel. I'm sorry, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't care about bodybuilding. So why are you suggesting this to me? I haven't seen a bodybuilding video in like 10 years. My account is about 10 years old. I never clicked on one of them. So why the hell are you recommending this to me? But with the autoplay function, it's the same thing. It's like, I want you to watch bodybuilding videos. Like, no, get lost. YouTube, please remember my preferences. You're asking for it, you're recording it, so do something with it.
Yeah,
Well,
no
no.
kidding.
Good evening, chaps.
Evening.
Good
man.
evening.
Well, morning for me, but there you go.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
how is everyone?
Oh, we're doing well. Wooly's not doing well, though.
No.
Yeah, I've just seen her reply to Platty
Mhm.
saying she's done something to her back. I'm sure she'll be fine. More medication.
Yeah.
Yes. More drugs. More legal
I don't know.
drugs.
I kind of want her on the stream just so that we could get her loopy and sleepy so that she could just, fall asleep on air. That might be good viewing, right?
Types. Yeah. People would pay for that shit.
Hey, Alicia.
Well, Alicia, yeah, we should definitely get her drugged up again
No.
on air.
No.
No.
Call Tasha.
Been there, done that. Let's not repeat that ever again.
So
I've
you
not
were talking
repeated
about
it to my knowledge.
you were talking about some stuff that was annoying you on YouTube recently. Today I was trawling through a couple of videos, and I've noticed an increase in unskippable 3-minute long fucking saga adverts.
I've heard this happening to a lot of people, but it has not happened to me yet. Every 3 or 4 minute ad that I've had has been skippable. But I have seen a lot of the long ads, or at least see them start to break.
I mean, they've got some that are like 15 minutes.
Fuck, I haven't come across that, thank Christ. I'd imagine I'd be hitting the refresh button a lot more. But sometimes when you hit the refresh button, it just kicks you into the same bloody advert at the beginning again.
Those would give you the option to skip after a little bit, but you could see that, like, over in the corner, you could see the length of it. And yeah, some were really long.
No, I definitely saw one
if you
which
left
was
them
like
there, there was like an infomercial.
Yeah, the one I was watching was at least 3 or 4 minutes long, and they were talking about like how Facebook were doing better than their competitors and all this kind of stuff. It was like, why? Who came up with the target audience for this kind of shit? I'm clearly not the right person for this, and it's not really effective use, and it's completely unskippable. So somebody shelled out a lot of money for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be the way to do it. Make people pay for unskippable ads.
Yeah. So I know from the monetization settings in your account, you have the option to click, do you want this advert or do you want any advert to be skippable or not?
Yeah, that's one of those dick features that haven't been gotten rid of yet. Oh, hey, we might actually have an item to talk about. Allegedly, there's an earthquake somewhere. Here, let me open up the email. Okay, somebody's having a go at me. Apparently, it's Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Like, for
that
real.
was a couple of days
5.3
ago,
earthquake.
wasn't it? That was a couple of days ago, on the 2nd, I think.
Consider looking according to there are no immediate damage or injuries. Well, then it's not worth talking about because nothing happened.
Nobody hurt. No one cares.
Yep.
Oklahoma's so flat, it didn't matter.
Let's have a look to see what's going on in the news and avoiding said ruled thing.
Well,
yep.
That's what Platy
Okay.
wants to talk about.
You can say, okay,
No.
you can say election, just don't talk about the election.
Okay. Well, can I mention an election that is not in the United States?
I'm sorry, did you say election or erection?
Haha.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. So, in Indonesia, in
Uh-oh.
Jakarta, the governor is apparently running for re-election, and his opponent basically suggested a Quran verse that says don't trust the unbeliever or something like that. Don't ally with the unbeliever, whatever. Basically, he was trying to convince the Muslims not to vote for a non-Muslim, and the governor made some remark about it. Anyway, so they want him charged with blasphemy. They want him locked up, and they want him locked up so much that after Friday prayers, they demonstrated in the streets. 200,000 people in the streets of Jakarta asking that this man be jailed for blasphemy.
This is why you have separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I had a button for this. Yeah, there we go.
Is it Allahu Akbar?
Wait, you guys aren't hearing that?
We heard like the
No.
background of it, but it wasn't actually through the old
I think I
headset
selected
here.
the wrong mic then. Oh, that would be why.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do it, but back in the early 2000s, I don't know if you remember, when they'd make this video when they're about to cut the head off an infidel, they'd let out this really high-pitched screech yell thing. I don't know if they still do that in their videos, but I think that would be an interesting thing to add to the soundboard.
I've got a lot of shit on the soundboard, though. Like, I think I've got, like, I think I really should just do away with half of the Hail Satans that I've got on here.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
I have
we'll say Hail Satan plenty of times. You don't have to have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Hail
I mean,
fucking Satan. Hail Satan. Yeah, that's a twofer right there.
Yeah.
I'm just still surprised that they hadn't had people say anything about that.
What?
All the Hail Satans and stuff.
Well, nobody gives a fuck, surely.
It doesn't trigger
I
anyone.
know, but every time we try to do something that's a joke, there's usually somebody that thinks that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, most of her audience is atheist, and so they're not going to be too pissed off by Hail Satan.
If you want to really piss them off, just say the Earth is flat.
Oh,
That's
that's actually good because she has a channel for Eve Firecrotch.
Yeah,
for
I've seen
ditzy
that.
feminists. Maybe Eve Firecrotch could be a flat earther. I don't know.
Anti-vaxxer,
I'll put
flat
that her way.
earther, all kinds of shit you can go down that road.
The flat Earth. Well, the Earth is flat because the patriarchy wanted the Earth to be more like their testicles. So they've been telling us this lie that the Earth is round because they want. I don't know. The patriarchy. There's some joke there.
Somewhere in the ether there. Patriarchy.
I would suggest there's several live channels on YouTube where you have 24/7 watching Earth footage from ISS. Go watch the chat. I'm not sure if some of them are actually trolling or really serious about it, but there's whole discussions going on about that. It's a hologram, CGI, and everything else. It's like
The odds are it's both.
yeah. Oh, that's for sure. But it's like, are you bloody kidding me?
You do kind of want to reach out and touch them. It's like, are you fucking real?
Well, you know,
Well,
the whole Masonic Illuminati lizards have been doing this con for a long time now.
Yes. But even if you take it just a tad serious, it's like, well, look at how much money it would cost. It's cheaper to send someone to the moon than convince the whole bloody world it's flat. It's like, seriously. It's like,
Well,
I said it before. I'm pretty sure I did in one of the hangouts. It's like, I talked to someone and I was like, well, let's have a dialogue about it. I'm not going to really have a discussion about it or a debate about it. It's like, let's talk about it. I'm curious here. It's like, why do you think it is? And eventually you get the whole story. Go watch this video, and you have to watch a 2-hour video, and within the first 2 minutes, like, because Bible, it's like, yeah, I'm done. No evidence. We're done. As soon as you go with, well, it says so in the Bible, we're done. Argument over.
I
So
don't get why.
I
don't get why that's persisting. Why do people
I don't
even
know. No, I
entertain that as a theory?
Well, because if it was round, the water would fall off.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah, no, seriously, I heard that one before.
Come on, that has to
I'm
be
joking
that has to
about
be a
that.
troll.
That is not a joke. I've heard people say that. I've read it.
Yeah.
Yes, the water would fall off if the Earth were round and not flat.
Well, that kind of does explain why Australia is such a desert, mostly.
Yeah, but as soon as you start asking, well, there should be the photos, video footage, or any form of evidence showing, well, here's the edge of the Earth. Look, everything is falling off. It shouldn't be too difficult.
Well, that's because it's actually surrounded by Antarctica. It's cold out there, so it's ice. It won't fall.
I would have to issue a challenge to the flat earthers to bring back a picture of the edge. I need to see this edge.
Yeah, that's my argument as well. Like, there should be evidence of it. There should be photos and things like that. Here's the counter argument for that one.
Somebody go to a flat earther page and start trolling them with that.
Yeah. No, because the US has their navy around Antarctica, preventing anyone getting near the edge. How easily can that be debunked? It took me about 5 seconds. Nothing is perfect. Anyone can get past that one eventually. Send past a drone, whatever. No evidence. You're done. It's like, are you kidding me?
If the Earth really was flat, you wouldn't be able to have a flight from Argentina to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
But those exist, apparently. Or
in a time frame that would be available between there and there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rather than going the long way around, let's say.
Yeah, you can fly in a direct line instead of the long way around.
No, they just slow down. They just slow down, so they make you think it's further away.
Oh yes. In other words, aeroplanes are time machines.
But when you jump in time zones, I suppose you could make that argument. But
yeah, well, technically, airplanes are time machines. But we're talking about nanoseconds or so. Well, that has been scientifically proven that if you have an atomic clock in one plane, and I need to look it up, you send it around the world, and you have a other clock at the place. As soon as the plane comes back, it's off by a fraction, and you're talking about nanoseconds here. So you wouldn't even notice it, but the clocks are a bit off. That has been scientifically proven. But yeah, to say, the world is flat and now all the airplanes are time machines that slow down time, etc., etc. It's like, yeah, start digging. Do you want another shovel for digging your hole? Maybe a digging machine or something?
So
I don't know.
So wait, if they think the world is flat, how deep do they think it is? Before you fall through.
And I don't understand how flat earthers would rationalize time zones with a flat Earth.
I don't think rational comes into it.
I mean,
they just wouldn't do it.
It's a conspiracy by clockmakers. It's the Swiss, I tell you.
And it's not even a good experiment anymore because you don't have to even change the clocks, so the phones and stuff do it for you.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. People with devices, their times change on their own.
Oh my god,
Yep.
these people are legally allowed to breed
Oh,
and drive
yeah.
cars and probably own guns.
What's wrong with owning guns?
Nothing at all. But if your IQ is that low, oh god, I fear for everyone.
Well, if they kill each other first, then yeah, it's natural selection and insert some what is it, Darwin Awards. But
Well,
yeah,
that's what used to happen naturally with humanity, but the problem is that there is absolutely no detriment anymore to being a complete idiot.
No,
Yeah.
I've thought of this and actually looked stuff up a little bit. I mean, it's because of progress we've made in other areas. The human form can live through so much more than it used to could, that those sucky genes that would have been kicked out of the gene pool have been allowed to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And yep,
Yeah.
Science did that.
Yeah. It has its pros and its cons.
Yeah, depends on its application and who is doing what. But
So
Well, when you have like we've had work, there would be babies born, say 23 weeks, weighing, less than a pound. And yes, we could save them. And yes, they would end up going home, but they would be deaf, blind, cognitively very subpar. And yeah, well, we saved your baby. Here you go. It's going to be a veggie. But
Yeah.
that's not always the way that goes down. But yeah, it does bring up the argument of, has science fucked up our evolution? Because as before, the whole strong survive, the weak die off. And science has kind of fucked that up, because generally we save as many people as we can, regardless of whether or not they're going to be disabled or disadvantaged in a way. Does that mean we're not getting the best DNA rising to the top and continuing?
Well,
thus driving the species forward.
I run very close into breaking the election rule with this, but this is all the reason why I was initially going to be voting for the sweet meteor of death.
Yes, I'm still going for the giant space god devouring our planet.
Yeah.
That gives us a reason to build 3 arcs. Arc B is for all those idiots. There's your arc. You go first.
It's all
yes,
right.
and the answer
I'll
to that
invoke
one
the
is
great
42, by
old
the
one.
way.
I'll invoke the great old one by then. It'll be fine. The great Cthulhu will rise from Rylia and take over the Earth. The world will be dominated through madness. And
I'm
all
okay
will
with
be
that.
well.
okay, now I like madness.
Oh, they made very good songs back in the day. But that's not the mantis you're talking about.
Baggy trousers.
Oh, yes. No. At times I get the feeling, may I assume that all of you have seen the film Idiocracy?
Yes.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
No, I have not seen it yet.
Go download it, rent it, whatever, find it in a bargain bin. It's worthwhile.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people say, well, 1984, the book is not a manual. I was like, well, Idiocracy shouldn't be a manual either, but
it's happening anyway.
It's happening.
Oh, yes.
So, what's the basic premise of it? I've not heard of this film.
Oh, okay. So, there's this military experiment where they basically put somebody into a coma or whatever for a year, but that goes wrong, and they go 500 years into the future, basically. And anyway, basically, society degenerates because whereas originally survival of the fittest, now it's kind of survival of the most fertile.
Yeah. In short, anyone who is stupid breathes faster than anyone who is smart.
Yes.
Right.
The first 2 minutes of that movie are just golden, because they have this this intellectual couple, and they're putting off childbirth, and
that's what I was gonna say. That has been brought up as also in the way as gene pool, that the smarter people are not breeding.
Yeah,
and the less than are continuing working them out.
Yeah, and then they have Cleavon is a less than intelligent gentleman living in a trailer park who has impregnated multiple women, and his son, basically the idiots abound, and the gene pool gets less ideal, and in the future, everything is a shithole. People can't manage anything. They can't grow crops. The president is a professional wrestler and porn superstar. One of the members of the cabinet won a spot there via some sort of lottery. It's everything just goes way downhill.
Yeah, okay, and the main character. Yeah, and the main character, I forgot his name. It's been ages since I've seen that movie. Yeah, not sure. It's like every time he starts speaking, everybody goes like, "Are you a faggot?"
Yeah.
I have to check this out. Okay.
Yeah, it's worthwhile. I would say. I know you can buy it. It's quite expensive on Amazon right now. It is a movie that is quite rare, apparently, but everybody has seen it. But go download it.
You can rent it from Google, Amazon, Blockbuster, Voodoo for $2.99.
Well,
yes,
I can't illegally download worth shit on this connection because my ISP is really uptight about that shit.
Oh well, let me help you out.
Well, yeah, we could work out some Google Drive solution later.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, they only check for names, so not for every bit you're looking at or streaming. So I can actually do something with that.
Well, yeah, we'll work that out later.
Yeah, I said the intro to Scarecrow Man.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Has anyone seen? Well, since we've moved on to films, has anyone seen any good films recently?
No. Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that.
Oh, go watch
it. The missus wants to go see it, but we have to sort a babysitter.
Yeah, well, we saw it the other day. We downloaded it, of course, because I wasn't too sure about the movie itself. So, I've been quite disappointed with a lot of Marvel movies recently. It's like we watch it, like the X-Men and things like that. It's like,
the Apocalypse was terrible.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to spend £7.50 or £7 just to go to the cinema and to watch it. It's terrible. It would be about a tenner for the two of us. For a tenner for each person, that would be about $15, including getting to the cinema, excluding drinks and things like that. And it's like, no, it's way too expensive. And I downloaded it. It's like, I'm so glad I didn't go. It was. I would say, yeah, I grew up with the X-Men comics, early 80s, well, pretty much throughout the 80s. And this was nothing close to it. You heard the argument with the whole Ghostbuster fiasco. It's like, well, you raped our memory or our childhood, and this was the same thing. Like, actually, you pretty much raped the whole story in my eyes. This was so disappointing.
Not Doctor Strange.
Oh, no. That was actually pretty good. No, the X-Men movie.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah.
The X-Men film Apocalypse, it was really, really, really shite. And if you know anything about the X-Men from the comics and TV shows and all this kind of stuff, yeah, forget it. They've pretty much shit on it and gone, yeah, you know what, fuck this. Doctor Strange, I've avoided a lot of the trailers for because it looks interesting and a bit different.
Yeah, the trailers don't do it justice. The trailers are pretty poor, and I think I've seen one or two of them, and I saw the movie a couple of days ago, and me and my wife went like, I need to go to the toilet. Shall we pause it? We paused. It's like, oh, we got like 10 minutes left. Oh, we can wait. Let's finish the movie. And that really happens. Like, it was actually quite interesting. Visually quite entertaining. The acting is quite good. And the storyline is, well, not super complex, but enjoyable to watch.
Cool. Well, I like Mr. Cumberbatch. I think he's quite good. Though
Yes.
his recent rendition of Khan in Star Trek made me go, yeah, maybe, no. It's like, so you're Khan. Why would that mean anything to anybody else there? That whole Wrath of Khan thing and all that before that hasn't happened. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I didn't like. Well, visually, the new Star Trek movies, they're entertaining on a visual level, but I don't know. It's just a rehash of all the movies that have been released already in the last 40 years or so, and they're rehashing it, changing a few things, and it's like, stop it. Just make something original, please. You can do it, Hollywood. Please do it.
That sounds like effort. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched. What did I watch the other night? 10 Cloverfield Lane. You guys seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
No.
I'm not too sure. It was like had some darkness to it, but I don't know. It's something. I'm glad I saw it, but it's something I wouldn't buy on DVD.
Yeah. I'd tell people that enjoy the main bulk of it, but the end, ignore the ending. The ending's stupid. So dumb.
It would be a movie if I can borrow it from a friend of mine, and I was like, "Oh, you got this on DVD? I'll borrow it." Then I would say, "Yeah, then it's worthwhile," but I wouldn't spend any money on it, to be honest. It was not worth money in my eyes.
I do watch some films. I do wonder how the hell did they secure funding to create that and release it and make money on that? How?
There was one that I wondered that about, and when I saw the ending, I got real pissed. And I'm glad I only spent $1 on it because I got it from the Red Box. But y'all ever remember that film? It was a few years ago, Apollo 18.
13?
Yes.
Was that the one which
18.
was on the? Was that the one with the? Oh, is it on the moon? Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was done in a found footage style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw the end of that, and I nearly punched my DVD player.
Ooh, that's not a good thing.
I have seen that film. That was really bad.
Well,
the horror film, right? Yeah.
yeah. It was done a found footage horror style. Long story short, with that film, since I think I deserve the right to ruin a film if it's this bad. The last moon mission that U.S. allegedly makes, we go up there, and they're being hassled by a lot of odd and destructive things happening to them, culminates them into attempting to leave the moon because all the scary stuff is happening via a Russian rocket that somehow made it up there, and the film ends with these moving rocks that were terrorizing them. They turn into rock spider type things. One of the main protagonists, screaming in horror, and cuts to black and just leaves the internet address lunartruth.org on the screen. And when that happened, I wanted to punch a kitten. like it was that bad. That's how they ended it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Story written by Alex Jones.
Probably. Like, it would not surprise me at all if Alex Jones really did write it.
I think I read the other day that Uwe Boll has decided to not make films anymore. Do you guys aware of this guy?
Yeah.
He makes all the really shitty game to film conversion things like Blood Rain and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the comparison. I love asylum movies. In general, they are shite. I love them because I know they're going to be shite. They are better than any viewable movie, and that will tell you something.
He's so bad. At one point, he actually, I'm pretty sure he invited two of the internet critics to fight him in a boxing match. I'm pretty sure it happened as well. I think if I go to YouTube.
Oh, wasn't there a petition or something like that years ago about Uwe Boll? I think he did it himself. Said, well, if I reach an X amount of votes on a petition or something, I'll quit the movie industry. I think it managed to get that amount of votes. He didn't leave, of course, but yeah.
There is a video on YouTube of him beating the shit out of this kid who's like a good 100 pounds less than him. Uwe Boll looks like he certainly does do boxing like properly. Yeah. He just wanted to beat the shit out of people who criticized him. That's the way to deal with your critics, just punch them in the brain.
Wasn't that how Silent Bob and what's-his-face did it at the end of one of their movies?
Oh yeah, they just went. They used all the money.
Idiots lived.
Yeah. Did you say this? So, yeah. Well, son.
No,
Oh,
I
that
wish I
was,
could do that sometimes.
That
Clerks
was.
too?
I think that was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I think it was. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Fuck them in their stupid asses. I am the Click Commander.
Oh yeah.
There's no such thing as the Clit. The Clit is a myth.
Oh god! Oh, that was an excellent movie. Stupid, but good.
I think I saw something about Kevin Smith writing Mallrats 2.
Oh, really?
I heard that.
Yeah.
I think it's being called Mallbrats. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I don't know. It could be fun, but it could suck hard. It's been a while.
I love it when Kevin Smith is that does that talk about Prince and going there to record all this stuff and how weird he was. It's funny. It's floating around on YouTube.
Don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, he's like, of course he's funny anyway telling it, but I don't know, it's 30, 45 minutes. So it's pretty decent, long thing. But yeah, just how ridiculous that Prince was. And then he filmed all this footage and then decided to do nothing with it. And they apparently have like 50 music videos that are complete that were he had in a vault.
That I've never seen the light of day.
Yes, they've never seen the light of day.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, there's a big vault full of shit that's never seen the light of day. And like that, all the footage that he did is there. And
You never know. His estate might release it later, perhaps. Who knows? Can only hope.
it depends on what kind of weird stipulations he put on stuff and how well people in his family do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tupac Shakur put out records for years after he died.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. Elvis has been dead for, what, about 30 years or so. I recently saw an advert, I think it was on ITV or something, one of the TV channels here. Buy this new album by Elvis. No. But yeah, it's family that keeps re-releasing all the things, and then they find, oh, we found something somewhere that has been made by him. We need your money.
It's quite a thing at the moment, like celebrity death. I mean, I was talking to my other half earlier today, and she said, "Oh, this was the last thing that Tim Curry did," and I was like, "What? Wait, he's dead? I'm pretty sure he's alive. I'm pretty sure he's alive." It's like, no, he's dead. It's like I had to Google that shit. He's alive and kicking. He's unwell. He's quite frail, but he's definitely alive. It seems to be quite a thing that this. I don't know. Maybe it's always been like that, but people definitely seem to be quite invested in whether or not their favorite actors and singers and all that kind of thing are alive. I mean, this year we've lost some rather big names, some iconic names.
Oh, I have a list. I have a list of people that if they die, I'm gonna melt down.
Yeah.
And yes, it's the total fangirl shit. David Gilmour. But see, he made it through his birthday this year. No, a lot of people were dying at age 69 at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, oh shit, he's 69. He's got to make it till September to hit 70 to break the 69 curse. Because there was really was 3 in a row. I don't know who they were now that were all 69 when they died. But him, Tim Minchin, and Amanda Palmer, Neil Gaiman.
Oh, you're a Tim Minchin fan.
Oh God.
I tried to show my dad Tim Minchin, and my dad's quite a devout Catholic, and
Oh my Lord!
that did not go down well. He was like, "Why?"
Did you start with the Pope song?
No, this was before he released the Pope song, actually. But I think the Pope song was released a couple of months after, and I was like, "Well, I'm definitely not showing him this one."
No, it's his comedy is something that you have to have taste for. Now his other work, like the musicals and that kind of thing, is brilliant.
Didn't he do Matilda?
Yes, he did.
I haven't heard it yet.
And he did. They got it on Broadway now. The Groundhog Day.
All right.
Then it was him and the same people, the same writers and stuff that did Matilda did Groundhog Day. It's out now, on Broadway. It just got released here recently, and so it'll be forever before we see anything from it because Matilda has been out. You can't see it because it keeps touring, but you can hear the soundtrack and you know pretty much what's going on just by the songs and the talking and when they burst into singing and so I could listen to that. So I'd like to see it, but yeah, I mean, all of that stuff is really great. And, of course, like I said, his comedy is you got to have the be a little tough. Can't get your fifis too hard if you're.
Yeah, musicals and that. I was actually because my dad was in the army and that we did a lot of traveling, so there was a lot of time in the car. So one of the things he used to do was he used to put on musicals. He used to buy the CDs. So before I actually knew what they were, I was listening to them. So the likes of Joseph and His Technicolor Dreamcoat, Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables, that kind of stuff. And it's only recently I've actually gone to see them. And I have to say, stage shows, people take the piss out of them. They are really good. There's certainly, you know, when you go see a film and you get engrossed, it's like that, but magnified tenfold. A good one, anyway. You really get sucked in because it's live action there right in front of you. It's quite something. Highly recommend it. Go to the theatre.
No, I can't do that because I don't have one.
Build one. Build it and they will come.
Oh, I don't know.
We have a small town one, but yeah, no.
Got to get some culture up in there.
Well, there's a girl that used to be in some classes with me that she does quite a few parts at that theater, and yeah, she has told me that she has suggested a few that were that yes, I would love to see them do, and they really wanted to do, but yeah, no, the older people are like, we can't do that.
Oh.
Nope.
Random ads play over here, and y'all get to hear it, and it's super annoying.
Goddamn ads.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't seen ads in a while.
I use an Android box, so I don't really see many ads. The only time I see ads tends to be YouTube, fucking YouTube, trying to watch something, and then fucking thing comes up.
Yeah. Well, here's the nice thing. I'm using. Well, I know that the Android boxes, the media players, I think they use Kodi on there. If I'm
Yes,
not
I use
mistaken.
Kodi. I use Kodi.
Yes, I've got a Raspberry Pi that has Kodi on it. The only time I see ads is when I'm watching ITV, and that's not the video on demand option. When you're watching something live, you actually see the ads. But YouTube, I haven't seen ads on there. So pretty much every ad is being blocked. I don't know if I didn't install an ad blocker on there or anything. It's like, well, thank you very much. No ads. You're most welcome. But here's the nice thing, by the way. If you're using ad blockers in your browser and you're using AdBlock Plus or something like that, remove it and use uBlock. I think one day Matt made a video about it a while back, that some companies are actually paying AdBlock Plus or the creators of AdBlock to let adverts through.
Wow.
And I noticed, and
Wow,
I noticed,
what a douchey thing to do.
yes, and I noticed with Facebook, I was using I had uBlock on my main computer. I had AdBlock Plus on my laptop. All of a sudden, I was logged into Facebook, and I saw adverts on there. We recommend you this and that, and then I went like, where the hell does this come from? I checked with my main PC, logged in, and it's like, I don't see those ads anymore. So I'm very sure that Facebook is paying AdBlock or the creators of AdBlock Plus to let adverts through. Not all of them.
If anyone's going to be able to afford it, it's going to be them. So
yes,
I use a thing called Facebook Purity to basically edit Facebook so it doesn't show any ads, and it removes sections that it forces you to have down the sides. It's quite useful, quite an interesting one, quite easy to use.
Yeah. See, I don't mind having ads, but if I'm reading, same when I'm looking on Twitter on my mobile phone, it's like, oh, you have an ad about every other post. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't mind having ads, but it's getting a bit too ridiculous. Like you're pushing way too much, and of course, when you're going with your finger over the screen, you tend to click on them anyway. And suddenly there's something opens like, no, I don't want to see this shite. Get lost. I'm not interested in this. Buy penis enlargement. No, I've already got a child. No, never mind. No, get lost.
The penis enlargement emails are particularly annoying, especially the ones you get from your mother. They're quite hurtful. I can't remember who I stole that from, but
I think it was a Louis C.K.
Good one.
joke.
I do like that joke. So we've mentioned Tim Minchin. Does anyone have any favorite comedians they like?
Oh, he was also Judas and Jesus Christ Superstar, since you were talking about musicals.
What, Tim Minchin was Jesus and Jesus Christ?
He was Judas.
Judas. All right.
In 2012, did the Broadway, the London.
I could see him as Jesus though.
No, he did Judas, which Judas is the star of that. So he did a great job in that too.
Well, for me, with comedy, that would be Monty Python. Simple as that. That's what I grew up with. That's still epic.
90% of the Flying Circus is shit.
Oh yes.
There are some gold. There's some gold in there, but that generally ended up in their compilations, and now for something completely different than that. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
I did like the bit about how everybody turned Scottish though that one time.
Oh God! Oh, by the way, there is. I can't remember the name. There's I think it's a stop frame animation movie that was made about 5-6 years ago. Alternative history, British. Oh, I can't remember the name. It was pretty good. It had some boring moments in there, but it was pretty good. Eventually, it ended up with England got invaded by Germans, and instead of going through the air, the Germans dug a tunnel under the canal and invaded London with tanks and all. Yes, there's such a thing. There's a whole story behind it, as silly as it can get, and it is funny in a really awkward way, but it is funny. And eventually, England, I have to say this, and not Britain, but England was saved by the Scottish, who actually took who took over England, and in the name of the Scottish Empire.
Oh, that sounds more like it.
Oh, thank you for saving us. Plants a flag for the Scottish Empire, and it went crazy. It's like Churchill in it. Oh, I can't remember the name. It is one of those obscure animation, stop frame animation movies that I would say, well, it's not even cult. It is unknown in the cult world, but it is still epic.
Wasn't there a thing a good few years back where they had a statue to William Wallace commissioned, and they ended up looking like Mel Gibson from Braveheart?
Yes, there is one in Scotland. Yes,
that
is actually
fantastic.
based on Mel Gibson.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yes. But even the broadsword that is used, I think, in the movie, I'm not sure if that is the movie based on something that is real or not, but they used the broadsword in the movie, which one
Claymore.
Yeah, the Claymore. Yeah. That's something no one could actually use. I've been to, it's in Falkirk. It's pretty much nearby for me, fortunately. For some reason, but you've got a tower there. I've got the name, but you have the sword in there as well, and it's just a replica. And when you look at it, it's like, seriously, I'm quite tall, and it's taller than me. This is something no one could actually wield at all, let alone kill someone with it. Most likely you would kill yourself with it. But it is joint. It's a joint sword. You got a blade from one sword, and then another blade from another sword, and then the hilt from something else, all joined together into a massive sword. And it's like, yeah, not realistic. This is unusable. Looks impressive though, but that's it.
Good for intimidation factor. It's a bit like the Desert Eagle in that kind of respect.
Yeah.
Claymore, the Desert Eagle of swords. Right. Does anybody have anything to talk about? Because
I keep drawing a blank. Like
Me
I
too.
offered to do this stream like last minute because Wooly is on the pain pills right now. So
Yeah, and as soon as you avoid the topic you cannot not talk about, then yeah, it is pretty.
so okay, how brief are you guys on the whole Brexit thing?
a bit, but what is there some new shit going on or something?
Well, so we had the referendum and they were saying, yes, we're all going to leave because a slight majority of people said that, yes, we should leave. There's been a whole thing about they have to activate what's known as Article 50 to actually get the process going. They've been like, will you, won't you, won't you? And they said, yes, we will. It's going to be next year in March or May, something like that. Anyway, they've been arguing over whether or not they should actually go through with it, and Parliament have been saying, "Look, we need to have a debate. We need to talk about this. We should have a vote." And that Theresa May has been going, "No, you don't. The people have spoken. We're going to go through with it." So the High Court has got involved. And they've been deliberating. They've fallen on the side of saying yes, Parliament have to decide. So it could put a whole break on the whole thing. It's like,
to sidetrack from that, here's the nice thing: if you look online, everybody who is pro Brexit went like after the vote was cast, it's like we're going to leave the EU. They went like, all the Remainers are so salty now, and they were taking the piss out of the Remainers. Now this happened, and I saw a mood swing like, oh, this undemocratic, etc., etc., etc. I went like, oh, who's the salty one now?
Well, it is a vice versa. It's all of a sudden the Remainers are saying yes, we should follow the process, we should go ahead with it, and suddenly all the Brexiteers are going, no, we should ignore this bit, we should just go ahead. And so yeah, it's a bit of hypocrisy from both camps there. Yeah. It's really funny to see. I have on my Facebook wall, like, most of my friends are were Remainers and that, and the amount of fucking shit posting that's been going on is insane. But it's certainly been a nice distraction. I made a short video on this. My prediction is that Theresa May will call a snap election in early next year, where she will probably win. I have to say. I think that's the state of affairs in our politics at the moment, because Labour are useless.
They're useless. Labour in Scotland is pretty much dead. I think they've got maybe one seat left.
Yeah, they all went to SNP.
Yes. Oh, I don't like SNP really. I find it, well, I think I would say the followers, not all of them, hashtag. It's like, it's almost on a religious level with them. And I live pretty much in SNP heartland here. All my neighbors, most of them are SNP, and I'm going like, oh, I think I'll keep my mouth closed for now. Because, see, I had a situation a while back talking about SNP and getting bit off track of politics again in a way. Like, well, we were in a difficult situation, and both me and my wife were on benefits. It's a whole dramatic story that's behind it. Let's avoid that one. And well, we pretty much had to guess what was going on and what was going to happen in the near future. And we were looking for help, legal help and everything. And so we're starting calling about, like, can you help us, Citizens Advice Bureau and things like that. And no, we can't help you, can't help you, can't help you. When a friend of ours, an ex-colleague of ours, went like, well, you need to go to the SNP here in Greenock because, well, he's a minister in the parliament in London, and he will help you. He can help you. Well, you can guess how that went, like blind faith. So we went to the office. He wasn't in. One of his aides helped us, and we explained the whole story, what was going on, and the whole history behind it. And we're not talking about, oh, I'll give you a summary or in like 2-3 minutes. No, there was a half-hour talk, and the aide, well, she was completely quiet all the time and like mouth dropping open, like the fuck moments all the time. We got an answer back. Here's a leaflet. We can't help you. We're busy with bigger things. That's S&P for you. We will not help the individual because we're busy with bigger things.
Yeah, that tends to be the line for most political bodies anyway, isn't it?
It is. And well, if you look at S&P, how they projecting themselves, it's how they...
What I find
we help the
interesting
little
is
man.
you have the SNP, but and that's all well and fine, but you have the BNP, and then it's fuck you racists.
Yep. Well, I would say,
but yeah, the BNP were a bunch of thugs anyway. But yeah,
yes. Well, S&P don't get fooled by the name. They're more leaning towards communism than anything else in my eyes. They're a very socialist party, and actually on the
National Socialist Party.
Yes. Oh, look at the things they're saying, and they actually have implemented here in Scotland. Our little girl, they've implemented something. You have health visitors coming by every now and then to look how your child is progressing. You have checks on school to see how your child is progressing. It is something.
What, you have the health visitor?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got that as well.
Yeah, we have the health visitors as well.
Yeah, but it goes further than that. There's a program in place, and I think it is right now it's being contested in the European Court of Human Rights, as in this, whatever you implemented is actually quite illegal. It goes against human rights. They're trying to fight it. But
well, I was going to say the one you were talking about sounded like a big imposition unless you wanted it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have an issue that you have a nurse or midwife coming by after your wife has given birth, check how the baby is doing, things like that, the usual health checks. And it's like, I'm fine with that. That's not an issue. I'm all for that. The health of a child is being checked, but the whole program that is being implemented is, I don't have to link anymore. I might have it on my laptop. It is, what was the basis behind it? The chances of a poor family mistreating and, well, hurting a child are higher than with a rich family. So we need to protect the child. So we're going to check every second of the child till they're 16 or 18 years old, from the day they're born, on school, etc., to make sure they are not.
Wait, I think Goodfella did a video on that.
Yes, he did. I can't remember the name.
I'm trying to remember what it was, and yes, that did sound completely retarded. I'm trying to remember what it was, but yes, that sounded it sounded very.
Yeah, it is Big Brother. It is
Yeah.
completely Big Brother. We're going to check to see if you're a good parent. It's like, fuck off.
I have to say that a lot of what goes on up there in Bagpipe Land, we don't really hear a hell of a lot down
No.
here. Unless you guys are bitching about our government, then yeah, we don't really hear much about it. Or you happen to make a statue that looks like a racist movie star, but
Oh,
No, I know how that goes, but yeah, no, it is. I can't remember the name. I think I have it somewhere in one of the videos. I talked about it just briefly. It's an acronym, and you can barely find any information about it. You've got some charity organizations involved as well, and it's all about for the child, for the child, for the child, and yeah, it is really scary if you try to find more information about it and actually find some information. It's like
they put a
even
data.
when
Do they put a data chip on them or something like they do dogs?
No.
I don't think that's far behind.
I don't
no,
either.
that won't happen. I have to be Alex Jones to predict that one correctly. But no, it is Big Brother. Even if a midwife in a hospital says they implemented a Big Brother program, and it's like you have to be worried, really worried about it.
So
But-
I didn't actually think about it at the time, but if I was to say, no, the health visitor can go fuck off, and no, I'm not going to take my baby in to be weighed and all this kind of stuff, would there be any punitive measures? Would they like try
yeah,
and...
in the worst case, if you refuse to work with them in any way, they can actually get child protective services involved and take your child away.
I didn't actually think of it at the time. I was too shit scared about like the baby not waking up. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. Tell me it's living, and tell me if I need to do anything to keep it alive. But yeah, I suppose you could say that's a bit authoritarian, but I suppose our infant death rate has gone down from such measures.
See, that's why I said, well, the health visitor itself, I don't have an issue with it. It's like if a midwife drops by, checking your child on the health, if it's growing well, things like that, doing the basic test like eyesight, reaction, area, check how good the hearing is of the child. It's like, yeah, fair enough. I don't have a problem with it. You can go to your GP if you want to, etc., etc. That's something they implemented ages ago in Holland as well. You have a whole health checkup regime going on. That's for the benefit of the child's health. I agree with it. As soon as you start crossing the line and start interfering with how a child is being brought up, then I'll go like, no, that's my freedom here. You're infringing. Get lost.
Yeah.
But they don't just drop by. I mean, they make an appointment, don't they?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they make an appointment.
It's all arranged in advance.
Yes.
Oh, well,
And
then it's not so bad.
Yeah, and we're lucky
If they
enough.
just turn up just at the door, it's like, you need to check on the child. Show me the child.
Okay.
Have you shaken your baby today?
Only a couple of times. Why?
No, those random visits that are completely unannounced, that's called TV licensing here.
Oh yeah, I have had somebody knock on the door saying, "Do you guys have a TV?" Because I don't have a TV license. I don't watch live television. I do have a TV, but I don't have it hooked up to a satellite or anything. I just use the box. And the way the law is, you don't need a TV license for that kind of thing. You only need it.
I'm going to have to say, what the hell is a TV license?
Right, so because we have the BBC and it's all state funded. Well, is it all state funded or mostly? Either way, it is.
No, I can tell you about that one because I did look up the numbers. Alicia, you basically pay a tax if you're watching live television. And actually, last time I checked, it's only when you watch the BBC. So if you're not watching BBC and if you watch any other TV channel that is being broadcast live, but you don't watch the BBC, you don't need a license. All the money is just taxes generated, and a lot of it goes to the BBC itself to fund it. So there are no commercials on the BBC.
Except for
We're talking
for the
about
BBC.
Yeah, we're talking about billions here. The BBC sells their programs, generating revenue, and then they have their tax as well. They get and they get about 1 billion to 2 billion pounds a year in tax revenue, and then another couple of billion from selling their programs.
Wow. I thought it was
Yes.
going to be like paying for cable or something. I didn't know.
No. We have something called Freeview. You attach a small box and you put an antenna on it, and you can watch the TV for free, basically.
So yeah, we do have cable which you pay for, like you get Sky and Fox and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that's a subscription service. The TV license thing is not tied to that in any way, unless you use your cable to watch the BBC. In which case they'll say, "Well, yeah, you need to pay the TV license." I don't know how they detect whether or not you do. But
they can't.
Well, I mean, they seem to be pretty good. There's been shows that's been on there that I've tried to watch, and it won't let you, like, it'll come up with like a thing that, no, you don't live in an area that can access this.
Yeah,
and
that's a region block.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody doesn't give a fuck about that.
So to me, they make it hard on me. It's that they guard their stuff, and I want them to stop.
It's not gonna happen. No, the TV licensing, I know to a lot of Americans is really like, what? You need a license to own a television? Well, no, not quite. It's not like a license to own a gun or anything like that. It's just it's just a tax. It's just another fancy way of taxing people for the BBC.
Yes.
You go yearly and get your license?
You can pay monthly or yearly.
Yeah, if you pay on a yearly basis, you pay £145.50. So that would be close to $200 a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. There's been several movements to have the TV license abolished, but they've been unsuccessful so far, obviously. I don't know if there's a renewed effort recently.
I think there has been, but there has been another effort that was actually quite successful, but it was actually going the other way around. The BBC iPlayer used to be video on demand, and you could watch it for free. These days, I think since a month or so, you actually need a TV license to watch that as well. So because there was a loophole in the law itself that everybody uses, like, well, I'm watching video on demand, so therefore I don't have to pay it because it's not live.
Yeah.
They changed that.
Yeah, they've changed. If you use the iPlayer app, for instance, apparently you need a license. But as you were saying, I don't think they have any way of necessarily proving it either way.
No, with the TV licensing, they actually need to prove that you are watching it, and they can't. The only way that they can actually prove it is that either you're watching it when they are in the house, then you're screwed, or if you admit to it. But as long as you don't, as soon as they're on at your front door knocking, it's like, please let me in because I want to see if you got a television, and if you're watching BBC, you can go like, go fuck yourself and get lost. You're not getting into my house. They have no right to enter your house. Only the police have under certain conditions, and even the police will go like, no, you're not doing anything illegal. So on a legal level, they have to prove it. It is innocent until proven guilty. They're the claimants, so they have to prove and provide the evidence. As long as you're not providing that evidence, they don't have any evidence. And that's a little trick behind it. I've been licensed free for the last 5 years or so. Because in the beginning, we did pay the TV license because the whole letter, the way it's written, it is very vague and sketchy and very threatening.
The letter does say it is definitely written to like point you towards you must have this.
Yeah, otherwise we'll see you in court, things like that. They're using. I don't have a letter here with me, but I'm pretty sure I'll get one this week again. We got one last week, so as soon as I've got one, I'll scan it in for you.
If they're sending them out that often, dang, they could just save money by not doing that.
They've only sent me the one, and that was when I registered, saying that I don't. You can go onto their website and register your address as not needing one.
Yes, but even that, you don't have to do it. If you do, they stop bugging you for the next 2 years, and after that, they start again.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting for them. Oh, they've been at our door twice, but I wasn't in at that time. But I'm still waiting for them to knock at my door, and I'll go like, "Oh, TV license. Hold on, camera. Let's talk." And most times when you do that, they're pissing off straight away. They don't want to be on camera. There are plenty of video clips or videos on YouTube about that one. If you look it up, it is epic. Like as soon as you got the camera, it's like we're off. We don't want to be filmed.
Yeah. There are people just pulling out cameras on the TV license checking guys. They don't like it.
Nope.
Like, bye. Okay. Bye. Thanks for calling.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna drag us into the little anti-feminism world thing again. Yay! So you guys must have seen the responses to Miss or Ms, whatever, humongous lady.
I saw bits and pieces of it. Yeah,
she has reared her face, and it is a rear onto the internet with a series of videos.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them
refuting the whole responses she's had to basically being called out for being a complete bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, is there any way in which I've been trying to sit here and think, can I defend? If I had to, could I defend this person's position? And I can't. I can't in any slightest way play devil's advocate for this woman.
No,
you can't.
And the only thing that he could have said different is none of your business. And I wish that he would have said that somewhere along the line, because he didn't have to tell her name to begin with.
Oh,
he's allowed to make a joke though.
Yeah, but I'm saying she asked him what his name was, and he made the joke, and she kept asking just what it was. You could tell she was pushing it.
Well, in the initial cut, if you watch the video back, the initial bit, he engages her. She obviously is looking at him and looking like she wants to talk to him, because he kind of goes over and asks her, "Do you want to know my name?" I don't think she actually asks him first. I think he asks her because she looks like she's there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes down.
Yeah, because I thought I saw her asking him.
Let's see, the original humongous.
Because I'm pretty sure he goes, "Oh, do you want to know my name?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure."
I think there was more to it than that.
Yeah, because
hold on,
because he says that, and then she keeps asking him what his name is. What's your name? What's your name?
Humongous what? Humongous what?
No, well, a lot of the time he just grins. He doesn't say anything, and she's just getting totally irate.
Well, as far as far as I know, or that's the feeling I have. So I'm not too sure about that one. It started off that she's ranting about something, and he just gave his opinion, like what the police is doing their work, and that's pretty much started it off. I saw a BBC program the other day about Black Lives Matter. And you have something in there, the usual American thing. I would almost say we need to discuss everything and confront you with everything. Was outside of a court room or outside of a courthouse, you had a couple of Black Lives Matter activists there, or something similar to that. They were wearing those T-shirts, and someone else came, and I need to confront you with the facts. So not like I'm going to ignore you, you go protest and I'll move on, thing like most people would do. No, we need to confront you with this. And I think something similar happened with him as well. She said something and he went like, I need to give you my opinion now.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not too sure.
I'm pretty sure he sees her like filming him, and he goes, "Do you want my name?" I'm pretty sure that's how it goes down.
Well, here I'll just play it here, and yeah.
Woo! Video.
Are you guys getting sound or no?
No.
Negative.
No.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
Technical difficulties.
It's because of the whole soundboard thing. I'm a cheap ass, so I didn't get a real one. So
yeah, if you bear with me, I'll get something installed on my end. If you could put the link to the video in the side chat, I'll download it.
I like the you caring video or whatever the hell, or the you caring site, whatever it is. Where
hold on.
There we go.
Oh, I muted the damn tab.
Oh, that's.
And that's the one that they used to. And no idea, we'll find out.
So, I have no sound.
I don't either see theirs when I was thinking he says like me.
Yeah, let me grab the video.
Because he even gestures like he's saying me. What?
You know what? I'm going to watch the video. Go, gadget. YouTube. You taking my picture? You want my name? Yeah, he engages her first. She's holding a camera up to him, and he goes, "Are you taking my picture? Do you want my name?" So he actually verbally engages her first.
Right.
All right.
So she doesn't go up to him demanding his name. He offers his name, and he gives a joke answer, which is fine. She's obviously there to start some shit anyway.
Yeah, because that's what he does. That she keeps chasing him around. What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
your name?
Yeah.
Humongous what?
And he doesn't say it anymore. He just keeps it to himself.
Well, he does turn
Kinda
around at one
laughs
point
at
go,
him,
"I'm
tries to
humongous."
Tries to get away, and they keep chasing him down.
Her reaction was psycho. Just the way it just escalated so much to sexual harassment for a joke. That was not sexual harassment. If that's what you think sexual harassment is, you are living a blessed life.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But yeah,
Well.
the amount of you've seen her videos then, yeah, or
Yeah.
at least parts of it.
Yes.
I don't get how she can defend her position.
Yeah.
How do these people breathe? It's just making it worse. And yet, I'm sure there will be people that will respond to her, tell her she's an idiot, and a load of other things. And there will be people who are trolling her, and she will
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to say that she's being harassed online and targeted by trolls.
Well, that's
And
pretty much
Well,
what she's saying anyway.
yeah, well, she set up this You Caring or whatever the hell site where they could give her money for her feeling sad, basically. And anyway,
Oh, that got
so
hijacked.
oh yeah, so people, because she had closed down the comments and shit on her videos, so people were paying $1 to, and they'd have as their name like humongous, bend over, that kind of shit, and their little like paragraph long explanation of why she's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, if you look at like almost all of her donors are these people who paid $1 to say something, to call her out on her bullshit.
it's really that hard by that for $1.
Yeah.
Well, here's a nice
Yeah,
thing.
'cause-
Go ahead, Alicia.
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, here's the nice thing. It depends a bit on the situation, but most of the times money is paid via PayPal. Most of the money will be, well, you open a case with PayPal going like, well, this was a mistake. I want my money back, even for $1. And the chances are pretty good you get your money back. So it's like, yes, you want to see $1 of it. Not a penny.
Oh, I'm sure she'll get some victim bucks.
Because didn't
Yeah.
you put like a link, Platty, when that came out? Like people, you can close your comments, but people will pay to say what they got to say.
Yeah, I did something like that, and I posted. I didn't post a link. I posted a screenshot of it says you can close the YouTube comments section, but the internet will find a way to call you out on your bullshit and pay to do so if necessary. And and I posted a screen cap of I think that there are two in the screen cap. One says Jake, an actual rape victim. I was actually molested and raped multiple times by an older man in my neighborhood from ages 7 to 8. I'm also a white male, now 23. I truly wish the man that did the things he did, which still haunt me to this day, had just told me an innocent, stupid joke. Your voicing an internal oppression is just taken as a slap to the face from real victims. I hope this $1 can go towards getting you a Snickers and calming you the fuck down.
Oh, fucking mic drop. Boom. Oh, wow. Yes. Fucking righteous. Yes.
Yeah.
Humongous what? Humongous what? Well, you're a humongous bitch, but here we are.
Yeah.
I don't get how someone can see the train wreck that happened before and think, you know what, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. Grow. Even just apologize for being a bitch. That'd be a start.
Yeah, but they can't apologize. That's the problem.
Even if she didn't apologize, just shut the fuck up and just stop it. Stop trying to make yourself out to be a victim because you're not. Clearly. Demonstrably not.
Mm-hmm.
There's video evidence that you yourself put up for everyone to see. Holy shit.
Her victim videos might actually work if there wasn't video of the whole incident.
I did think that. I thought to myself, if this had no context and I just watched that, what would I think? And it's like, well, she could have a point. There could be something there, but the thing is, that may be what she's hoping for. Maybe people won't see the background context to it, and they'll just side with her.
Problem is, it's the internet, and everybody's seen it.
Everybody has seen it.
Oh my God! No, you can't go to people's videos and watch the originals against the context. Because you might send too much traffic to another person's site, and oh my God, you might actually comment on something.
Yeah, the whole anti-bearing argument. Yeah,
I like how Bearing of all of the various response YouTubers, Bearing was the one they picked. In his videos, I have to say, are the least corrosive. Are one of the least corrosive responses I've seen. I mean, maybe if you went for Undoomed, because sometimes he just flat out just insults the person directly without actually putting forward an argument. It's funny, but I suppose you could make an argument there that his is just having a go at a person and not their arguments, but Bearing tends to be quite courteous most of the time.
Yeah.
I'd have thought he's like one of the more mild. It's just weird that they've decided Bearing.
Yeah, I see that whole thing. That's one of the things that really makes me mad is because they're in there saying like, well, I guess whoever did that video where they did the comparisons, like, oh look, this person was only getting so many views, and then they got this many views. So that was, obviously
that's a bad
traffic.
thing, is it?
That was obviously traffic that, because Bearing made a video about it, and now there's all this traffic coming to that, and then there's all these downvotes, and then there's all these comments. And before this, they didn't have this many views, and now they got this. Well, if you go to watch the original video in its context, yes, you're going to count as a view. And what all you're doing is verifying that that Bearing or whoever that's made the video has not chopped it up and taken it out of context. And that's all you've done is gone and verified what was done. But yet you count as a view, and then they're like, oh well, why do you have to go look at things? Well, if you don't go look at things, how do we know you're lying? Like the Michael Rowland putting together the I like rape stuff with Bearings and things.
I wish people would stop bringing up the Michael Rowland's cut thing. It was so badly edited that it was obvious.
Oh yes, it was so
edited.
badly edited.
But it was in bad taste. It was a rather shitty thing to do. But I mean, it's nothing that I've seen. Nothing worse than I've seen others do. In a similar kind of joking, taking the piss out of them vein. It's not that egregious. I suppose it's in conflict with the moral standards that he would inflict on others, but
yeah, well, see, that's usually the stuff I have a problem with too. Is you're holding this person up to a certain standard when you yourself don't do it.
Yeah, but that's satire.
But you could tell very well that was badly edited, so...
Yeah, well, it's
in
hard
no
to tell.
way looked real.
It's hard to tell with Michael whether or not that was intentional or not. His editing is rather questionable. I'm not saying that mine's any good, but fine. I suppose that is a topic we could discuss a bit more if you want, but I think it may have been done to death.
Well, what I think Willie would say in this situation, vis-a-vis the whole the lady getting the victim bucks, is there's actual misogyny out there. There's actual what's the word? Sexual harassment. There's like actual shit and actual victims out there. And here's this bitch doing this.
Yeah. This is harming any legitimate claims of like sexual harassment. It's like, well, so now you want people to think of what happened to you with the guy saying humongous to you as sexual harassment, right? So now, if let's say everyone agrees with you, Does that now mean that people are going to think, oh, they just said some words to you?
Yes.
When do you say you've been sexually harassed?
As a woman, I immediately go into when I hear something about some situation, I'm already like, yeah, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah.
So any sympathy that people might get for something, they've lost a lot of it when they might be deserving of it. But they've lost it because of all the people making these stupid claims to where you just don't want to hear it anymore. So like, yeah, it's probably just some stupid stuff and not, nothing happened and you're just going overboard. And I myself just won't give it the time of day when that's really not their fault. There might be something real that they're trying to talk about.
Let me counter that one quite simply. Well, the racism thing, right? Everything is racism these days. As soon as you disagree with someone, it's racism. For us, it has lost meaning at all. Call me racist, I don't care anymore. That's something I would say quite a lot, even in real life. Call me racist, I don't care anymore. Let's get to the arguments. Why am I a racist, etc., etc. But John Doe and Jane Doe, the average person on the street, are still sensitive to it.
Yes.
They're not online the whole day watching YouTube videos or are even in the debate community or skeptical community. They are actually quite sensitive to it.
Yeah, I did a video on that as well, claiming the high ground, which is essentially basically, for instance, like it's the control of language that the average person will understand and relate to, but use their common definitions for it. So when you hear someone say rape culture, it's not the feminist definition of rape culture that they will hear. They will hear a culture that celebrates and promotes rape. Yes. And that's a bad thing. And we should be against that. Therefore, anybody that says they're fighting rape culture must be on the good side. And anyone that's saying that it doesn't exist and you're being silly and no, we shouldn't be spending any time on this is obviously the bad guy. So that this control of language is quite a big thing, and I think that they do it a lot, and I think it's on purpose just to garner popular support. It goes down to even the likes of Black Lives Matter. If you just the name Black Lives Matter, how can you be against that?
Yeah.
It's from the off, if you say I do not support Black Lives Matter, that translates in many people's brains, even if they don't realize it subconsciously. You are against Black Lives Mattering.
And you're racist.
That makes you a racist. Yes. So from the off, they've claimed the moral high ground, and you are on the back foot. You are arguing from a position of disadvantage straight away.
Yeah.
Just by their use of language.
Yeah, the same thing. Speak out against Islam and you're a racist. Well, we know it's a religion, so how can it be a race? It's not an argument for us anymore, but for the average person, it is. In their eyes, you're a racist. They don't think about it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I hear the likes of the EDL saying about Islam, I do kind of see why people say that's racist, because to me, I think when a lot of the EDL lot say Islam, they mean brown people.
Yes.
I do think it is used as code for...
Oh, by the way, for anyone seeing this afterwards and for the rest of the panel, EDL is the English Defense League. It would be comparable to the KKK.
I thought I knew about that from some guy earlier this year.
Yeah.
They're kind of like that. Okay, so the EDL was founded after soldiers came home and they were being their parades were being protested by radical Islamists saying that they were baby killers and that kind of thing. I think that's why it was founded by the likes of Tommy Robinson and that. And effectively, he got a lot of support by recruiting and arranging marches with EDL marches around football games. So he got a lot of the football hooligans out
Not a
and
good mix.
and they would kick off and trash places, and it was it's kind of calmed down a bit now, but that was certainly a big thing for the EDL. There's a big marriage between football hooliganism and the EDL.
Well, see, that's a good time. All you can do is be there an hour before the game starts, and then all the people that are outside getting some worked up, waiting, for the game and that kind of thing, and the higher energy level over something, and they're like, hey, yeah, they can just have a big old time in the parking lot before. So that would be a good way to get that off the ground.
The annoying thing about that I find with the likes of the EDL is that they were calling the whole Rotherham thing well before anybody else, and they were right.
Whole what?
Rotherham, where they had groups of Muslim men raping underage girls and stuff, and the police were turning a blind eye to it. And there's
because
been
the police was afraid to be called racist.
Yes.
That's why they didn't act on it.
There's been an inquest into it, and it has been found that, yes, they were definitely doing that. They were definitely turning a blind eye, letting things go on, and they were afraid to act because they were to be called. And the more annoying thing that I find about that angers me to no degree is that it's still going on. Even though that's reports out, it's still happening. We're still getting reports of it happening, and the police are still not doing anything about it. So yeah, that's the one thing. That's one of the things that I can't quite get around in my head. Is that yes, the EDL, I really don't like them. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like their tactics. The people in it tend to be quite annoying. I'm just going to say annoying and leave it there.
And you use your British understatement. That's the best way to describe them.
But they did raise the lights of Rotherham, and people said that they were insane racists, and it turns out that they were not lying. It happened. It's true, and it's still happening now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when the likes of we find that the likes of these people over here, the racists over here, have a point. This is not a good thing. They should be ignored because they're wrong, not because their ideas are uncomfortable.
Well, broken clock is correct at least 2 times a day.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is that, but this is quite a. It's quite a thing.
Happening? Where is this happening?
There have been several places around the UK where it's supposedly happening, but the big one that people know about is Rotherham.
Okay.
Yeah, the worst thing you could ever do with trash like that, either with EDL or KKK, is give them something that they're right about, or give them a legitimate thing to hang their hat on.
That's the thing, though. They have a legitimate thing, and nobody's taking it off them. It's not that we're giving them the legitimacy; they have it already, in one way or another. But they should not be the ones championing that legitimate point. It should be taken off them and dealt with. So you remove the legitimacy.
Well, we've got the same problem with a lot of bad police shit going on here, and Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
BLM isn't as bad as the EDL or the KKK, but they are the cause of a lot of problems over here. And the last thing the last thing we need is to give them a legitimate crisis of some sort. Like
they seem happy to
manufacture or something.
Yeah.
You don't give them that.
But the unfortunate fact is at times they're actually quite right. You have police officers who are racist, who are willing to shoot first and not even bother asking questions. But they're
Right.
the exception
We
to
do
the
have that
rule.
problem.
Yep, that's a problem we have everywhere in the world. There
But-
are no exceptions to that one. We're still human.
But
But
BLM's
yeah, you
not
only
doing
have to have
anything good
one.
about it, though.
Yeah, you only have to have one shooting that is justified in their eyes. See, we have the evidence. There is the proof. There is the facts, and they won't shut up about it.
Well, see, that's another thing, though, that a lot of times something bad actually did happen and the police were wrong. But see, now that's another area to where it's gotten so twisted that even if it is, people are beginning to doubt that you know, that the police did anything wrong because they've brought up so many incidents that were non-incidents, and
Yeah.
it takes away again from the validity of what happened.
Yeah, that was the program I saw this week. I think it's called An Unarmed Black Man. It's on the BBC iPlayer if you want to see it, if you actually can see it. Don't care if you have a license or not. But the way the BBC brought it is, well, we show you plenty of instances which are already questionable. Is, well, this has happened, and you see that the police are starting shooting without any reason or any cause. So they're putting an image out there. See, it's the police that's doing it. And normally you would go like, well, how about all the other instances that are actually quite right, that the suspect was armed, was ready to shoot the officer. They only showed one instance, and that was the whole sniper thing with Black Lives Matter, or someone who said there were Black Lives Matter earlier this year, that 4 officers got killed by a sniper. If anyone remembers that one, I can't remember which city it was.
Texas.
Yes. And that's the only counter-argument that is being shown. All the other footage that is being shown by the BBC, and there should be objective in this case. Now, everybody will go like, BBC is no longer objective. Yes, that's quite true, fortunately. They will only show you all the other instances that, see, the police is doing this. They're shooting someone who is unarmed, running away, etc., etc. The same arguments Black Lives Matter activists use.
I did see a video, and that was floating around a while back, and the police did have somebody that was running, and I don't know, he had a gun in his hand anyway, and the guy turned around and, you know, kind of like the hands up and put the gun down. Well, there was a corner back behind him. So as he was coming back up, you know, he's making it look like he's putting his gun down, and he has. But then you hear the other guy, when you hear the sound, saying something about he's got a gun, because as he's coming up, he's reaching to the back of his pants to get another gun that he has on him. Yes. And so the guy that came around the corner shot him. And then you see the gun, you know, him hit the ground and the gun slide away from his hand. And, you know, so if you had just stopped that video before that continued on, it really did look like an unarmed man laid his gun down and was standing up, and the cops just shot him.
Yes.
But when you continue the footage, you see that, like, as he's coming up, that one hand is going toward the back where the gun is. He gets it out really quickly and is on his way to aim at the police officer. It just so happens another one was behind him coming around the corner and saw him do it, you know, and in time to shoot him before he could shoot the police officers that had chased him down.
Yeah,
so
there was another thing in that documentary as well. I barely want to call it a documentary, to be honest. It didn't follow the rules of a documentary. But they put numbers in there. It's like, well, in the last year, 36 police officers. I can be wrong about that number, but it was a very low number they put on the screen. Have been killed. It's like, yeah, but how many people? How many officers have been shot? How many have been wounded? Because if you're trying to use the argument that all or almost all the officers are racist, therefore shoot black people, it's like, no. Or if they start shooting for no reason at all, it's like, that's not true. There is a habit in here, expectancy, assumption, that kind of thing. If, for example, if we were to meet up in real life, and every time if I meet you, I would hit you on the shoulder, just tap you. After a while, you would react to it. Next time you see me, you pull your shoulder away, like, oh, you're going to tap me on the shoulder anyway, and I don't like it. So there is an expectancy factor here as well. If an officer or a group of officers has been shot at so many times, they start to expect that everyone will be carrying a weapon or will be most likely to shoot. You become a bit more cautious. And that's a factor you don't see in those documentaries. Black Lives Matter is not talking about that one. Two, like, I'm sorry, but you're living in a shithole of a neighborhood. Everyone is carrying, well, not everyone, but there's plenty of people who are carrying guns legally or illegally. You have plenty of people committing crime. So what do you expect? That police come in and like, oh, are you okay? Please stop doing that. No, they come in full force.
Yeah.
I don't know. Their arguments at times are so illogical in my eyes. It's like, no.
Well,
If this happens so many times to you, you will respond to it. You will expect it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're bloody stupid in my eyes.
I didn't know what they were for, but a lot of, you know, how they'll put ribbons on things for certain causes or what have you. And of course, I didn't see any. People have all these bows on their mailboxes. It's just a thing. You decorate your mailbox or something. You put all the bows, whatever you're supporting, out on the porch or on something. And people kept having these blue bows on their mailboxes. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is the blue for? And it's for Blue Lives Matter for the police.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, didn't see any black ones. Of course, everybody didn't think those were in mourning. But just they throw that out there, somebody's dead. But I didn't know what the blue ones were for. So, yep, that's what they're doing. They're Blue Lives Matter around here.
Yeah. I know. That's I don't know. Not all of them, but with most Black Lives Matter activists, is a very one-sided argument I keep on hearing. It's like, well, you're ignoring the fact that there's so many issues in your own neighborhood you could solve yourself. It is a generational problem, but you could actually do something in your neighborhood, clean it up, or stop crime yourself when possible. Help the police, but no, they want to have a close community, no police involved. And if the police does something and it's like, oh, no, they're racist all of a sudden. I don't know.
There was a video I saw of some people blocking a road, and this truck was trying to get through. And they were shouting abuse at the guys in the car that I'm going to cut you and stuff like that. And so the guy, one of the people, under their wing.
He keeps cutting out.
Yeah.
He keeps cutting out.
Sorry, he drives off. And the first thing they do is what? Somebody shouts, "Call the police." What? Aren't you guys against the police? No?
Yeah. Well, in Holland, you have a very stupid situation at times. Not everywhere, but you have ambulances or ambulance crew, paramedics, who want to help someone who's dying or has been a victim of crime, they come into a neighborhood and they get attacked by the neighborhood itself. It's like, are you that stupid? They're there to help you, try to save your life.
Yep, there's
And
places
now you're
even.
attacking them because you
Yep.
don't want them. But
I
as soon
don't
as
know
they
why
drive off,
they do
they
that.
start crying about it. Well, you're not helping him. Well, you're attacking me. What should I?
Because in the city here, we have certain areas. There's one that they call Gate City, and the cops and the ambulances will not go in there until the cops have went in and stabilized the situation, and they'll wait outside the actual gate. So to get into this big low-income apartment complex thing, and yeah, so people can die because other people have acted stupid, and those are the people that they're coming to help, and then they can't do it because they're putting their lives in danger.
Yeah.
If they go in there, so that does happen.
And,
Yes.
and then people say that there's a race. If you look at that through the lens of numbers, response time. Yeah. Is that racism? Is that because of racism? Or is it because
being slow?
yeah, it's if you the numbers for that, would that be would it be easy for them to say that the reason why the response time is so bad is because of systemic racism?
And technically, I think they probably could.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you're not safe. But when word is put out, and when those people actually tell you, yeah, you can't come in there because you're white. It's too people who live there will tell you, you can't come in there here because you're white. It's not safe for you. So they even are instituting their own racism.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. This is why the whole segregation thing is a big issue, because you're going to end up saying that you're only going to be able to have black cops in black neighborhoods and black ambulance drivers and bus drivers and all this kind of stuff, because they're not going to be able to go around there, and because they're white. I like how also the white thing tends to the net of what is white gets a bit expanded to include anybody who's not black, basically. So it's like, you're like Chinese, Asian, that kind of area. Now you're white. Latino.
What are there some
you're
survey
white.
forms say your choices are white and non-white?
Well,
So that's a hard one to do.
well, I mean, I have noticed that a lot of people kind of lump in the Asians with the whites when they go on their little privilege rants, because technically, in a lot of ways, Asians are better off than whites. But so the people of color community kind of often push out the Asians into the white community.
Even the white community takes the Asian statistics out because they do so much better on some things. So but they are lumped in. Yeah, because there's other areas where I just guess I would just say they were foreign. I didn't quite consider them white. But then I hear them talking about them being white, and I'm like, well, if you say so, looking at the video, and it's like, well, I would almost think you got a tinge going there, and not that it matters. It's just it looks like another nationality other than Caucasian.
It is quite funny when they say about racism. It's like, well, I mean, Are you doing this by continent, by country, by what? Skin color? Definitely just skin color, because it's not just like this country definitely has this skin color and all this kind of stuff. I mean, are you going to say it's racist for an Englishman to berate a Scottish person?
I would say yes, but then again, in my eyes, I see Scotland as a country. And I know in the Union, Scotland isn't actually considered a country. It is part of the Union, part of the UK. It is more like a province of England at times.
I don't think that's true. Surely
No.
not.
But-
I'm pretty sure that the England, Scotland, Wales, they're all seen as separate countries just within the Union. It's a bit like the EU in that kind of respect. You have like Belgium, France, all that kind of stuff. That they're all different countries, but they are different provinces of the EU.
Yeah, if you look at it that way, but it is not quite true. I know that Wales has a parliament of some sorts with limited self-determination, and they can have a vote, but if London says this has to be done, they have to do it. And I'm now really speaking black and white, and I'm not 100% sure about it. I know that Scotland has more self-rule than Wales has, even Northern Ireland has a certain amount of self-rule. But I don't know. It is a very complex matter. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I know to some degree a lot about it. I know that Scotland has a certain amount of self-rule, but not 100% self-rule. Because that's one of the issues I hear quite a lot.
No, I think that is why there's a lot of resentment for England in the whole UK thing, because quite frankly, yes, it is ruled from England, because we kind of kicked everyone's ass at some point hard enough for them to end up underneath our rule. I think they are.
Let's get back to the original position. I see Scotland as a country. I see England as a country. I see Wales as a country, and I see Northern Ireland as a country.
So is Scottish a race, though?
Then I would say yes, it would be a race.
So English is a race, Scottish is a race, but within the race there are also races, because you have black English people and white English people.
Yeah. No, I'm really confused.
There's a big argument that goes on about doing away with the whole race thing anyway, because of species, and all human beings can breed with other human beings.
But a calico cat is not the same as a sphinx.
Yeah.
But they can breed.
I think I'm mixing up two things. There's discrimination and racism here. Because now I'm actually looking. I know
it might just be simple
description. Yeah.
It might just be bigotry rather than racism.
Well,
because there's like ethnic groups, and then there's nationalities, and then there's races, and they often get kind of conflated, but they're different. Like a Russian person and an English person would be of the Caucasoid race, or whatever the hell it is. They're white.
Are we going into race realism here?
But ethnically they are very different, and so saying that they're the same because they're both white is kind of stupid.
Well, I guess it is. See, that's how race has gotten to be so touchy, is because it is misunderstood. And there's a lot of people that want to get rid of that, using it all together, because there is no difference that they can find really genetically at this point that makes the races different from one another, except for the obvious things. And but genetically, everything else is the same. So they argue a lot over whether it is races are or are not, do or do not exist. So it's kind of touchy now. So like what someone's idea, my confusion over all of that and what is a race, and then the normal level of what is a race. You know, like putting Islam in as a race when it's not. I mean, I think that's pretty easy to debunk, because would you call Christianity a race? Nobody's going to call Christianity a race. You know, there's people of all colors in Christianity, and it is not a race and never has been called one. Why the fuck is Islam being called one when there are white people, black people, brown people, you know,
Yeah.
all the shades of the rainbow running down through there that are Islamic?
I think an easy one that got that kind of ball rolling may have been like Judaism and the Semitic race.
Well, I think the Jews are often regarded as like an ethno-religious group. Because
yes.
But like with Islam, regarding what Alicia was saying, I think it was a couple days ago, there was the first ISIS. They had the first ISIS suicide bomber to be born in Ireland. There was a man who was born in Ireland. He converted to Islam, and he joined ISIS, and he apparently blew himself up a couple days ago.
Yes, that was in the news here.
We shall weep for him.
Yeah.
Not.
I'm so sad.
Yes, one less potato.
Is that racist?
Yeah, I think that is.
Yes, maybe.
I don't know. Is it?
Let's go less racist here then. One Kevin less.
Kevin
let's make it worse.
I don't think that's racist, but I can't think of what it would be. I once again, that probably is one that comes under a bigotry kind of deal.
Yeah, most likely.
It is. It's an easy shorthand for basic for that people will understand these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has lost its proper like literal meaning, I think.
Yeah, certainly.
And it's only getting worse because it's like everything's fucking racist now. I mean, shall we go down the cultural appropriation rabbit hole?
Go
Why
ahead.
not? That is about the dumbest thing that I've heard.
I mean, I watched an anime called Afro Samurai. I mean, who's appropriating who here? It's got like Samuel Jackson doing the voice of the main character. He's a black samurai with an afro, and the music's done by Raza and such. Why can't the Wu-Tang Clan? So. Whose culture is being appropriated here? Is it the black culture or is it the Japanese culture? I don't know. There's a lot of imagery which is based on Japanese cultural links, and obviously the music's all like rap and stuff, and then you have the Afro samurai character.
Why aren't there a bunch of people out there protesting furries?
I think you'll find there are, and they generally say they're going to go to hell.
Yeah. And then all that speedy stuff that like the kitten, the big thing with the girls wearing the paws and the kitten ears and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that, and they have their different names for things that yeah, I don't get, but yeah, that's definitely a cultural appropriation thing, but that goes in so many different directions that it's just a mess. You couldn't even to begin to say who did what, when, and what.
The whole cultural appropriation thing needs to die. It needs to go away and stop being silly. It's an
Yeah.
exchange of good and bad ideas that people like, and as much as it gets taken from one, it is given to the other. It's just the natural flow of everything. It's how we
It's
learn
the
and
food
evolve.
courts.
Yes.
Food courts in a mall or on a strip. You know,
Yeah.
you got Japanese, Mexican, Chinese, you know, Popeye's chicken.
I mean,
You know, you've got this slew of all this different Thai food.
mm.
Okay, like what are we gonna do? Close all these down?
Well,
Because
you have all these fusion restaurants. I mean, fuck me,
yeah,
they're just appropriating from all over the place. I mean, are those now a problem? No, they're delicious, you cunt.
Yeah. Oh, here's a nice thing. How about Pizza Hut and all those other pizza delivery services and restaurants, or restaurant fast food chains? They should be closed down because, well, if you're not Italian, you're not allowed to eat pizza then.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's so dumb. It really winds me up that it gets any traction whatsoever. There is a whole thing where I think they might have a case for being respectful of certain things that have maybe a religious aspect to it. But even then, I'm kind of like, your religion. Do I have to respect it? No, not. I have to respect that you do it, but I don't have to necessarily
Yeah.
you know, I don't believe what you believe. So
Yeah.
okay, you
So
can
you
go
don't
ahead
have
and do.
you don't have to give them hell for whatever it is that they believe. You know, and if they're wearing a certain thing that's, you know, it's okay, fuck it. If that's what you want to wear, go ahead. I mean, fine. That even goes to the burqas. If the women want to wear them, have at it.
Yes. For me, it's like, well, I said before, many times before, religion is a personal belief. Keep it like that. I don't want to be confronted with it. I don't want you to be knocking on my door. I'm here to bring you the word of Jesus. Well, I'm here to bring you a 4x4 if you don't piss off. That kind of things. Like, your religion is your personal thing. Keep it like that. You want to believe, I don't care. That's your prerogative. You want to have a church, go for it. I don't care about that one, but keep it to yourself. Don't push it into someone else's face constantly.
I think there is a case to be made for like being respectful of those kind of things if you're going to do something in public, but I don't think I don't think that saying like you can't wear that because you're not the right ethnic group or don't have a
If I
heritage
walk,
in that, because fuck
Yes.
me, who owns what is a really hard thing to keep track of.
I've
Yes.
walked down the streets and in Birmingham, our Birmingham, and like it'd be 5 o'clock or whatever, and it's time to throw the mat down on the ground and do their prayers, the Muslims,
Yeah.
and they were out there doing work about the time it was time to go do their thing. It's just like everybody's always very respectful of them doing that. They happen to be able to do it right there, so it's no big deal that they're doing their thing because they're not bothering you by putting them at prayer ritual. And you know, okay, you might have to go weave around size, it doesn't matter. And nobody gives them any shit. But that's them and that's their culture. And okay, why would you even try to recruit other people into that if you were culturally appropriating from that? Suicide bombing is culture. Oh, that Irish man that was he yep, he took that from Islam.
Well, that's not too far from Irish culture. I mean, they're blowing up shit
Yeah.
all the time.
No, they tended not to kill themselves while they were blowing stuff up, I have to say.
Yes.
And they used to phone ahead. Well, not all the time,
Yeah.
but sometimes they did.
Well, as I understood it, they would phone ahead when they were targeting something that would have like civilian casualties, but they would not do so like if they were going to hit like a police truck or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Talking about cultural appropriation, we've got a kebab shop here in Greenock It's called Kilted Kebab. How many SJWs would be triggered by that one?
I find in general, like the outside world, nobody gives a flying fuck about this shit. It's only in the media and it's only in certain places on the internet.
Yes.
So why should people care? The answer is they shouldn't.
Yeah, much so. They simply don't care. You try to explain it to the average person on the street, they will go like, what?
Yeah.
They don't care about it. It's like,
Actually, a great many things in this sphere do you try and explain to regular people. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yep. It's like some of the theories we hear about and we're dealing with are so far down the rabbit hole. Most people will go like, no. They can't even be bothered to listen to it.
I think the arguments maybe more do, but eventually some of those will work their way into the mainstream.
Oh, they are.
It's just that
they are.
we just have people that are very touchy on all directions, so that I think know about it before other people do, and then you just wait, and then it becomes just like not long ago. I would say less than 6 months ago, cultural appropriation wasn't that big of a thing, but now it has grown and has hit the mainstream.
I think I've heard it like years ago. A lot. It has really been the Halloween thing which made it like into the mainstream. Mm-hmm. It's like you can't wear that because it's culturally insensitive. Like the whole wearing an Indian headdress, for instance, that kind of thing. It's like no, it's not really a big deal over here so much. But I have seen that in America, yes, it can make some people a bit annoyed, along with like wearing the sombrero and that kind of. In England, Halloween's not really that big of a deal over here. People don't really get that pissed off about what you're wearing as long as it's not a Nazi costume, and that you tend to be all right. You pretty much wear what you like.
One of your apprentices did it.
Yeah, that made the papers. I'm sure everyone was. I remember when everyone was well happy about that.
And what was this?
Was it Harry? I want to say Prince Harry.
It was Harry.
Yeah, it was Harry.
Went to a party dressed as a Nazi. This was several years ago now, but that brought up a whole load of jokes because the royal family has German heritage. And there was a whole thing about the royal family being Nazi sympathizers and all this kind of stuff. So that all got pulled out of the woodwork again. And in general, it's just funny seeing Harry dressed as a Nazi as well, because it just is. I thought it was hilarious. I thought, well, fair enough. There was also a kind of a bit of a brouhaha because he was joining the army at the time. So it's like, is it appropriate for somebody in the army to just like that? People were a bit sensitive about it. But yes. if he was to dress in a sombrero or a Native American headdress, nobody would have taken a picture or cared. Maybe now, but back then, definitely not.
I would say even now, most simply wouldn't care about it.
Oh, probably not. But if the picture ended up on the internet, it would be blasted on certain websites like BuzzFeed, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. So, see you, everybody.
Well,
Bye.
To end it soon anyway. I'm actually gonna have to head out in about 7 or so minutes. But are there any bigger topics anybody wants to hit on before we go?
I think I've proven tonight that I can probably talk for England, so we can. I can throw something out, but I don't think I have anything burning. That might be cystitis, but no, nothing burning.
All right. Well,
nothing serious.
If I ever do one of these again, I better. I'm gonna try to have more content at least.
Pull up an agenda.
We'll see.
That's not the point.
Nobody wanted to look for anything to talk about, because if you look for anything to talk about, you get hit with election shit.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty much the
true.
only thing that's going
And
on right
you had, and I was sitting here earlier. I was going through like articles and stuff that I'd read today and over the past couple of days, see stuff to talk about. But you have to wade through so much election shit to get to anything else. It's just like, okay, well, I would find something to talk about, but I'm tired of scrolling through here trying to. So, unfortunately, my laziness is fuck it. Hey, yeah, NASA had a drill to get rid of so many people out of California if an asteroid hit in 2020.
I think we
So
should just
yeah,
have
they're
an
preparing.
asteroid hit
They're
already.
preparing for that. Does that count as news? And we're going to have some sort of supermoon that's close to been in the 20. Oh, all the moon worshippers out there.
All the lunatics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since we don't really have much, I'll stop the stream now, and y'all have a good day.
All right.
Okay, you
All right.
too.
Why isn't this stopping?